Hi, good evening, everyone. Hello, Khushbu. Hi, Jagroop. Hi, Harshit. Hi, Himanshu. Hi, everyone. Good evening. So it's such a nice day today, right? आज तो आप लोगों को सबसे most expected answer मिल गया. What you had been praying for months, you got your exam date, right? Yes, isn't it an amazing day? Good evening, Dr. Preeti. Good evening, Renu. Hi, Himanshu. Yes, I know, darling. I know. Yes. Hi, everyone. Hi, Janvi. Good evening, dear. Hi. So everybody has got the most awaited day of your life. Yes, so far this is going to be your dream day. All the children who have been planning your future, who have written all the goals down, what you want to achieve before you turn 30, this is the first step, right? July 26th is going to be your first step towards your future. Yes, and we are all going to help you to prepare well. We are here to help you, always to help you. Yes, kids? Yeah, okay. So today we are going to start with this NCERT highlight series on botany because many of you were asking for it, and we are really concerned. This entire family, Vedantu NEET Made Easy family, is really extremely concerned about you. So we have considered your concerns and we're starting the NCERT highlight series for botany as well, and we are going to do it with plant kingdom. We're going to start with plant kingdom today, page number 29 to 43. So quickly take up your textbook. All of you all have your textbook, right, Bacho? Thank you, Ganambika. All of you have your textbook, right? Yes, everyone has your textbook. Oh, Mamta, your birthday is on 27th July and NEET exam 26th July. Of course, so your birthday celebration is going to be amazing with the great exam that you're going to give. But you all of you here, I'm so confident about you all because you are all giving in a lot of effort towards this. You're all giving in a lot of effort. That's why you're here, right? To prepare with us for NEET. Yes, okay, so you are giving in a lot of effort and we are here to help you. So don't worry, we are going to do this together. Almost 50% आपका preparation हो गया है and we are going to do the rest together. Cool? Yes? Okay? Yeah. Thank you, Adi. Thank you, Krishna. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, all the kids. Yes, best of luck to everyone who has come here. So quickly take out your book. Everybody take your textbook. All of you have your NCERT textbook, I hope. Yes. Take out page number 29. Let's quickly tell you. I'm going to tell you all the important topics जिसमें से नीट में बहुत ज्यादा क्वेश्चंस आया हुआ है. I'm going to tell you only those particular topics in these pages. Okay? Yes. Okay. If you have internet issue, please refresh your page, bacha. It's not my problem. Yeah. Okay, now slides are done by Sumaya ma'am and this is your Shruthi Kohli ma'am to help you out. Okay, cool. So as you know, please stay tuned to our channel today. We have broken certain records today because you all were with us to watch this date announcement session with us with Arvind sir. Yes, so you have been extremely supportive. We are really thankful to you. Please keep subscribing to our channel and please work with us together so that we can do this NEET. We can climb this Himalaya of NEET together and we can just come out of it. Yes, so please subscribe to our channel Vedantu NEET Made Easy for you. Yes, and click on the subscribe button as you know, and please tell your friends about it. Yes, slides are prepared by Sumaya Mubin, our subject matter expert in biology. Yes, okay. So as you know, we have this 12 NEET crash course in which you will be getting 4 live online interactive sessions per day, 2 biology session, 1 physics session, 1 chemistry session. Yes, okay. So बॉटनी क्लास में आके एनिमल किंगडम का पूछ रहा है व्हाट इज दिस अजीजुर अजीजुर आप नशे में हो कम बैक टू रियल लाइफ वी आर डूइंग बॉटनी नाउ ओके so you will have so many sessions together. You can avail this offer if you want to see. अगर तो बहुत कम टाइम बचा है बेटा. Okay, we were anticipating at May but now it has gone to July. So we have like full 2.5 months to prepare well. 2.5 months in my calculation, you have 2.5 months to prepare. So please buckle up and let's do this together. If you want to, if anybody here is looking for a quick preparation, yes, yeah, quick preparation, you can avail this NEET crash course. Okay, 5,999. Some of you must not be able to attend the live sessions because of internet issues and everything. So agar aap ye 12th NEET crash course, if you have bought it, you can revise everything whichever time you want, whenever you want. You can keep watching the notes and you can keep referring to the material. Yes, use the code SKCC to avail this offer. And as I always say, please download the Vedantu app. You can see the link on the screen. Those who have come here for the first time, I'm telling this to you, bacho. Yes, good evening, Malika. Muskan, kya hua Muskan? Who's not responding to you? Thank you, Shiva. Not Shiva. Thank you, Science Tech. Hi, Kushbu. Hi, thank you, Kushbu. So sweet of you, bacha. So sweet of you. Yes, we will see. Okay, so quickly we are going to start today's session. This is the schedule for today. You had 2 biology sessions in the morning and you had 2 physics session. Now you have one more bio session where we are going to do plant kingdom and we are going to revise this from 4:30 to the next 1.5 hour. We are going to do this together. I'm going to take you through all the important topics, all the important pages and all the important concepts, okay, from which there can be possible questions in NEET. So please take your book, take your highlighter. सबके पास highlighter है ना? Yes, everyone has a highlighter, बच्चों. Do all of you have a highlighter with you? A pen, highlighter pen? You have to highlight this in your textbook. Okay. Yes, we will do. We will do. Okay. Yeah. So followed by my session, you will have 2 sessions by Arvind sir. Yeah. So let's look at page number 29. Page number 29 में क्या लिखा है? Let's also look at the classification within angiosperms, है ना? So we are gonna, here we are starting with one of the most important topic in plant kingdom, that is classification of angiosperms. Yes, okay. Now how they are classified? The earliest system of classification used only gross superficial morphological characters such as habit, color, number and shape of leaves. They were based mainly on vegetative characters or on the androecium structure, the system given by Linnaeus. Thoda sa, they're talking about the history of how angiosperms are classified. Okay, now all these were artificial, so not required. I'm telling you such bata rahi hu main bachcho. I will only tell you what is important, and just let's say we are going to get questions. Rest everything, there is not even a point in reading them. Okay, only the most important part I'm going to tell you. Okay, so all the previously existing classification of angiosperms, they are calling it artificial. Okay, because they that didn't make sense to many scientists, or linear system of classification. Like, you know, when you learn classification, you start with the artificial classification given by Aristotle, then the natural classification, then you start with 2 kingdom, 3 kingdom, 4 kingdom, 5 kingdom classification. Yes, okay, so you know why all the previously existing classification did not make sense, है ना? Yes, or in some classification, microorganism, fungi, algae, plants, everybody were put into one class. It makes sense, right? So let's not go into that details, not important. Okay, we will only look at what is important. Okay, so natural classification systems developed based on natural affinities among organisms means, see, जो organisms को angiosperms, why are they so special and how are they classified into different types? Angiosperms में ही we have monocots, dicots, all this. How are they classified? Because of their similarities and their differences together. इसीलिए natural classification system was most accepted than artificial class. You might get a question like this, but I'm telling you there is very less, let's say like 10% chance से इसमें we'll get a question. So let's not concentrate much on this. Just understand, बच्चों, what was the artificial classification, why it was not accepted by everybody, and why the natural classification systems were more accepted, because they made sense. They simply made sense because organisms were character. All these were considered when they were classified. Their characteristics, morphological and physiological characteristics, phylogenetic relationship and homology, right? How they evolved. All these were considered in natural system of classification. So that was widely accepted. Okay. Now, if you look at this page, yahan pe what is important? Some important terms we can hear. Okay. So we can see here the at present phylogenetic classification systems based on evolutionary relations between various organisms are acceptable. Phylogenetic classification क्या होता है? From a common ancestor, how the plants have evolved. Okay, how the plants have evolved from a common ancestor. So from a very single cell organism to a highly developed angiosperm, how did it develop? So everybody you would have seen the phylogenetic tree like this, है ना? Have you seen this? इसमें से like branches होते हैं. You would have seen like there will be a common ancestor and there will be like so many branches to this. Yes, phylogenetics tree looks like this. Okay, so there will be always from common ancestor from which all the plants have originated. So phylogenetic classification makes more sense because it clearly explains how organisms have evolved. Okay, now this assumes that organisms belonging to the same taxa have common ancestors. So very simple. So you might get a question ki phylogenetic classification is based on what? It's based on what? Based on existence of a common ancestor and evolutionary relationship. So please remember these two terms when you are reading about phylogenetic classification. Okay. Now most important when there is no fossil evidence, numerical taxonomy, which is now easily carried out using computers, is based on all observable characteristics. Numerical taxonomy क्या होते हैं? Number and codes are assigned to all the characters and the data are then processed. In this way, each character is given equal importance and at the same time, hundreds of characters can be considered. So, when you have to, when we have large number of plants, so are you all listening to me? Who is laughing here? Aparna. Aparna, why you laughing? If you have so much time to waste now, please go out from here. Okay, you can sit and laugh at yourself. I am really happy ki my serious children are here who want to crack the NEET exam. You are here to study with me. Yes, okay, so please concentrate. Okay, those who are here to laugh and waste time, you can go. Please, I want all the future students, future doctors to be here. So please, when you're reading this, bacho, when you're reading this, yes, numerical taxonomy is important. Okay, please make a note of that. Numerical taxonomy kya hota hai? When we use a lot of numbers, we give numbering to everything of a plant. As you know, no, number of petals, number of sepals. Okay, yes, whether petals are fused or not, whether polypetalous, gamopetalous, you would have heard, no, we give specific terms and we give numbers to each and then we identify a plant based on that number. Okay, this is called as numerical taxonomy. Cytotaxonomy is based on cytological information like chromosome number, structural behavior, and chemotaxonomy that uses chemical constituent of a plant to resolve confusions. So different ways how we can classify plants, how we have classified the angiosperm: phylogenetic, numerical taxonomy where we use a lot of numbers. Yes, cytotaxonomy, more genetic characteristic like chromosome numbers, structure of the cell behavior, what kind of cell division it goes, mitotic divisions or meiotic division. Okay, see haplodiplontic life cycle, diplontic life cycle, all this you would have heard about. Yes, okay, so all that, based on all that, we classify them in cytotaxonomy. Chemotaxonomy is based on the chemical constituent of the plant, like plant growth hormones, what kind of chemicals it releases, what kind of response it gives to different conditions in the presence of chemicals, what kind of response. So trophisms you would have heard, trophic movements, nastic movements and all that. Yes, okay, so based on all that we classify them. So all these terms are extremely important, that's why I am taking a little time here. Next one है algae के बारे में. 3.1 paragraph starts with algae. As you know, algae are chlorophyll bearing, so they are photosynthetic, right? Because they have chlorophyll, they are photosynthetic. Yes, bacho. Yeah, okay. Simple thalloid. Thalloid means they bear a thallus. Thallus is a particular structure, right? Thallus is a particular structure in the body of the algae, in the structure of the algae or in the morphology of the algae. Okay, autotrophic means they can derive their own nutrition, and largely aquatic, both freshwater and marine organisms. Now they occur in variety of habitats. Yes, so where they are found and all this is written. All these are simple things, you can understand it by yourself. Yes, okay, some of them also occur in association with fungi, lichen. Yes, Okay, and some also appear in animals. Sloth bear, ऐसा question आ सकते हैं. The symbiotic association of algae with other organism is called as. So you can be given different options. If it is with fungi, it is lichen. If it is with animals, it is example is sloth bear. Okay, symbiotic association with algae and fungi is a lichen. As you know, it's used as a pollution indicator. Yes, okay, because they cannot survive in the environments where there is excess of pollution. Yes. Others, you are just showing your beauty here. You have no skills of teaching. I don't think you have any skills of learning, others. Yes, please leave my class. Yeah. Okay. Lichens and sloth we are collect. You have a question. Yes. Yeah. So the form and size of algae is highly variable. The size ranges from microscopic unicellular forms like Chlamydomonas to colonial forms like volvox and filamentous forms like Eulothrix and Spirogyra. So please learn the examples. These examples are very important. Okay, Bacho. Yes. Please concentrate. Yes, examples are very important. Okay, size ranges from microscopic unicellular algae. Example Chlamydomonas. Please make a note of this unicellular algae. Algae are mostly multicellular. They occur, you know like when it is raining and lot of green patches formed. बहुत सारे they spread out. They are multicellular generally, but very few unicellular forms are there like Chlamydomonas. Yes, and colonial forms. Volvox ऐसे भी question आ सकते हैं. Example of filamentous algae, Eulothrix spirogyra. They are filamentous algae, appear in the form of filaments. Yes, okay, yeah. So please understand all this. Both algae reproduce by vegetative methods like binary fission and everything. Yes, okay, asexual and sexual methods. Okay, vegetative production is by fragmentation. In algae, vegetative reproduction happens by fragmentation. Each fragment develops into a new thallus which give rise to a new algae. Please make a note of this. Asexual reproduction is by the production of spores. And which spores most common? Zoospores. Zoospores are produced in algae. Okay, now how the spores move around? Because they have flagella. Spores have a structure called as flagella. Yes, okay, so with the help of the flagella, I think the screen has a problem. No, I'm just noticing that. Zoospores, yes, some of you are listening to me. No menti today, Bhavani Singh. There's no menti today. Okay? Yeah. So please make a note of this. Algae के बारे में questions आ सकते. That's why I'm spending more time here. Okay? Yes, because last year algae के बारे में ज़्यादा questions नहीं था. So this year there can be possibility we might get more questions. Please concentrate बच्चों. बहुत important topic है. कौन सा what kind of spores are majorly produced in algae? Zoospore. Why, how the spores will move around? Always think like this. Algae cannot run from one place to the other, na? So how do they reproduce asexually? Spores should have flagella to move around. Why? Because they are mostly seen in aquatic environments, in water environments. Okay, cool. Yeah, now sexual reproduction takes place through fusion of gametes. So there has to be male and female gametes. These gametes can be flagellated and similar in size as in Chlamydomonas, and no flagellated or non-motile but similar in size as in Spirogyres. So you would have heard about heterozygous heterogamy and homogamy, or heterozygous gamete and homozygous gamete. Gametes that are of same size, homogametic. Okay, gametes are of different size, different shape, heterogametic. Yes, heterogamous. Okay, now such reproduction is called as isogamous. Fusion of, that is fusion of gametes that are of similar size of different size is called as isogamy. Fusion of two gametes, fusion of gametes of similar size is called as isogamy, and fusion of gametes of dissimilar size, as in some species of Chlamydomonas, is termed as anisogamy. Okay, so there is isogamous fungi, algae, same type of gametes will fuse together, same size. There will be same size, but in some other case, there will be bigger and smaller gametes who will fuse together. This is called as anisogamy. Okay. Now, fusion between one large and non-motile static female and gamete are smaller motile male gamete is termed as oogamy. Okay. So, isogamy, same size. Isogamous, same size of gametes. Anisogamous, it can be bigger and smaller Okay, they can be of different sizes. Oogamy क्या होता है? Male one is motile. Male gamete is motile in oogamy, and female one is immotile, non-motile. It is static. It is huge. Female, just like how it happens in humans, है ना? Ovum, egg or ovum is non-motile and it is huge, and the male sperm is motile. Same thing happens in algae also, and that condition is called as oogamy. Okay? Yes, isogamy, anisogamy, oogamy, and what kind of spores they produce? Zoospores. I hope all this is clear to you. Yes, yes, bacho. Yeah, male is small and motile, female is large. Correct, Jayeta. Very correct. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yes, Bacho. Yeah. Now you have doubts. Many of you are asking me your doubts in Telegram. I am responding whatever, whenever I find time, I am replying. You have more doubts, you can always, you can always ask me there. Okay, please concentrate, guys. Your exam date is announced, your exam is nearing, so please take this seriously. Okay, now what is important in this page, I am telling you ki, some examples are given. Many species of Porphyra, Laminaria, Sargassum are among the 70 species of marine algae used as food. So please make a note. Marine algae, which among the following is a marine algae that is used as food? You can be given all these examples. Porphyra, Laminaria, Sargassum. Please make a note of this, Bacho. Yeah. Now, certain marine brown and red algae produce large amounts of hydrocolloids, water-holding substances. Hydrocolloids are produced in which type of algae? Marine brown and red algae. And what are these called as? Hydrocolloids. Okay. Algin. Brown algae produces hydrocolloid algin, and carrageen is produced in red algae. They are used commercially. Okay, please make a note of this. Brown algae produces algin. Red algae produces red algae, red in color. Remember, it is carrot, dark color, na, dark orangish red color. You can connect like that. Carotene, carrageen. Yes, or there is carrot is dark color or orangish color. Yes, so red algae. Why they produce that? Why carrot produces that? Because of carotene. So why red algae produces the color? Because of carrageen. Instead of carotene, remember carrageen. Okay, and brown algae produces algin. Okay, yes. Now agar, one of the commercial products obtained from Gelidium and Gracilaria. Gelidium and Gracilaria are two algae that are used to produce agar. So the agar that we commonly use. Yes. Okay, preparation of ice creams and jellies. What agar we used to prepare ice creams and jellies? It is produced from Gelidium and Gracilaria. So all these are important algae in the food industry. Okay, important algae in the food industry. Many species of Porphyra, Laminaria and Sargassum are used. Yes, red algae and brown algae produces hydrocolloids that can hold water. That's why gelatin, agar, they all look like that, bulgy things, fluidy things, because they can hold water. Algin is produced by brown algae. Carrageen is produced by red algae, and they are used commercially. Agar is one of the commercial products obtained from Gelidium and Gracilaria. These are two fungi, and it is used in the making of ice cream and jellies. All these terms are important, bacho. Spirulina, somebody, just me is telling me chlorella spirulina is used as food supplements by space travelers. Yes, correct. Spirulina is used as food supplement by space travelers because they cannot carry other food, because the kind of gravitational pull and the kind of atmosphere environment there is very different, right? Yes. Yeah. Thank you, Nishant. Please concentrate in the class, bacha. Yes. Okay. One here or what? Okay, so now is this clear? Yeah, chlorella and spirulina are unicellular algae. Bacho, I think your goal of coming to this YouTube channel is, see, I am no movie actress, or I am not a Bollywood actress who have come here to show you my beauty or my thing. So if I am here for that, I would do that kind of a professional makeup and I would dress up that way. And here I am here to teach you. Please understand that most of you are not concentrating on that fact. Okay, we are here to help you to crack your NEET exam. So please stop concentrating on my looks. Okay, please stop concentrating on what ma'am is wearing, ma'am is doing this, ma'am is doing that. Okay, and no matter whatever you people say, I am not going to change what I am. I will be what I am. I'll be the way that I am. Okay, so no change, don't change for anyone. This is what I'm telling my students also. Please don't change for anyone. Don't bother. Just concentrate on what you have to do in life, because you are confident about your goals. Yes, cool. Okay, so please, bacho, all those who are here to waste time, keep wasting time. Others, please listen. Look at the examples. Please remember these examples. Very important. Okay. Now, chlorella and spirulina are unicellular algae. Again, they are rich in proteins and are used as food supplements even by space travelers. It's written here. Okay. The algae are divided into three classes: chlorophyceae, phaeophyceae, and rhodophyceae. There is a classification of algae: chlorophyceae, phaeophyceae, and rhodophyceae. You would have learnt about classification, so I'm not going into the details. But bacho, in this page, I am telling you, if you at least listen to me once, 4 marks will easily come to you from this page alone. 4 marks will easily come to you from this page alone, because all these examples are of great importance. So please make a note right away. Right away, write it down in your sticky notes. Okay, write it down in your sticky notes. Please write down each and every example. Okay, now chlorophyceae are nothing but the green algae. They are commonly called as the green algae. Yes, unicellular, colonial, or filamentous. They can appear like this, one single cell. Okay, or they can appear in colonies. Okay, the algal body can appear in colonies. Okay, or they can appear filamentous like this. Okay, so anyone, any way they can appear. Now they are usually green, grass green, due to the dominance of pigments chlorophyll A and B. So as you know, they are called as green algae because of their color, because they produce chlorophyll, and of course they will be photosynthetic, right? Yes, and the pigments are localized in chloroplast. Okay, now I am not going to the each and every details here. You can see they have given chloroplast structure and everything. It's not that important. Okay, now okay, so this is an important part. Most of the members have one or more storage bodies called pyrenoids, and they are located in the chloroplast. Pyrenoids located in chloroplast, found in green algae. Now only make a note, please. Now pyrenoids contain what? Pyrenoid protein. Okay, pyrenoids contain protein, and some algae may store food in the form of oil droplets. They not only form food in the form of starch, they also form it in store it in the form of oil. Okay, now these not of much importance, vegetative reproduction, how they reproduce by fragmentation, easy things. Asexual reproduction, production of zoospores produced in the zoosporangia. So there is a zoosporangia formed like this. From that they release the zoospores. Okay, so in easy things, sexual reproduction shows considerable variation in the type and formation of sex cells, and it can be isogamous, anisogamous, and eugamous. Examples, most important part. Some commonly found green algae are Chlamydomonas, Volvox, Ulothrix, Spirogyra, and Chara. Okay, Chlamydomonas, Volvox, Ulothrix, Spirogyra, Chara. Examples of green algae. Please remember, green algae, because they have chlorophyll, they are photosynthetic. Yes, okay, and they have pyrenoids that contains protein. They can also store food in the form of oil. They can produce vegetatively, asexually, or sexually. Zoospores, zoosporangia. Examples: Chlamydomonas, Volvox, Ulothrix, Spirogyra, Chara. Please remember the examples. Okay. Brown algae, Phaeophyceae. Brown algae, no chlorophyll. Okay. They are found in marine habitats. They show great variation in size and form. They range from simple branch filamentous forms to simple branch filamentous formed as called as ectocarpus, to profusely branched forms as represented by kelps. Okay. Now they can also reach a height of 100 meters. They can really grow tall because they are seen in marine environments. They are able to grow tall because they will be seen under the deep parts of the sea. Yes, okay, they process chlorophyll A, C, carotenoids, and xanthophylls. But I'm telling you again, no green pigment in them. There is no green chlorophyll in them. They possess, but it is not expressed in the algae. There is no expression of the green pigment in brown algae. Please don't get confused. Okay. They have carotenoids and xanthophylls which are dominant in the algae. Carotenoids and xanthophylls are dominant in the algae. Okay, now they vary in color from olive green to various shades of brown, but most abundantly found brown algae is seen in most shades of varied shades of brown. Okay, abundantly found brown algae, but not necessarily all brown algae will be only brown in color. They vary in a different range of shades, but most abundantly found is brown. Okay, depending on the amount of xanthophyll, fucoxanthin present in them. So which are the pigments? Bacho, ma'am, how to remember all the scientific names in the examples given? Please write it down. Gain, Ente, Kamo. Please write it down. Please write down. Yes? Okay? Yeah. So what are the pigments that gives colors to the brown algae? This question can possibly come. Keratin, xanthophyll, fucoxanthin, all this. Okay. Now food is stored in as complex carbohydrates, which may be in the form of laminarin or mannitol. Guys, are you able to follow whatever I am telling you? Yes. Is this okay? I'm only telling you the most important parts of each fungi. Um, Trick to remember the examples. Algae, especially, see the names itself are very simple. What you do know, just draw a flow chart of each algae and write down only like two examples, two main examples. You just write down. That's the only way, because we cannot, even if you use cheat codes, you are only going to get confused. Very important to remember the names of the algae. Okay, bacho. Yeah. Yes. Okay, cool. Yeah. So they store food in the form of complex carbohydrate, which may be in the form of laminarin or mannitol. Okay. So as we learned in chlorophyceae, they store food in the form of protein and oils. Here, Phaeophyceae store it in the form of complex carbohydrates. Please make a note of this. Okay. Now the vegetative cell have a cellulostic wall that is usually covered in the outside. So this is a peculiar feature of Phaeophyceae. Okay, gelatinous coating algin. Even Chlorophyceae produces such compounds, but this coating is found in Phaeophyceae. Okay, now I'm only looking at the most important thing which we have to see. These are all structural morphological characteristic. You can read it, you will understand. Reproduction, sexual reproduction may be isogamous, as anisogamous or oogamous, you know, based on the size of the gametes they fuse. Okay, now gametes are pyriform, pear shaped and bear two laterally attached flagella. So basically I think they have pear shaped gametes with two laterally attached flagella. This is how they look like. Okay, so please remember this kind of gametes are found in Phaeophyceae, brown algae, and Ectocarpus Dictyota, Laminaria, Sargassum, Fucus, all these are examples. Remember when we revised the Menti quiz, there was a question about Ectocarpus and Fucus. Ectocarpus and Fucus, there was a question about them. Yes? Okay, so this very important, guys, please. Dictyota, Laminaria, Sargassum, Fucus, Ectocarpus, all these are examples of brown algae. Most important characteristic features we have just revised. Okay. Next, we will look at Rhodophyceae. Please make a note. What is Rhodophyceae? They are red algae. Yes, because of the predominance of red pigment. Are phycoerythrin, erythrocytes in our blood cells. Same way, erythrin, phycoerythrin or phycoerythrin is a red pigment that gives red color to this algae. Majority of the red algae are marine with greater concentrations found in the warmer areas. Okay, most of them are marine. Okay, now well lighted regions close to the surface of water, they occur in both. Okay, so if you see the sea like this, okay, you can see the green algae growing here because they require more sunlight. Okay, and then you have the red algae and you have the brown algae. This is the way of arrangement. Okay, if this is the level of water, if this is the land, this is the way in which you can see the different types of algae living. Okay, so they will live in the warmer areas. Okay, and also well lighted region close to the surface of water, and also at great depth in oceans where relatively little light penetrates. So basically they can survive both in the great depth and also in areas that is nearing the land. Okay, so both areas they can survive because they have the capability to survive even in the absence of light or in the absence of photosynthesis. They can survive. The red thalli of most red algae are multicellular and some of them have complex body. ये सब इतना important नहीं है. Okay, now food is stored as Floridian starch, which is very similar to amylopectin and glycogen in structure. Food is stored as what, बच्चों? Food is stored at what? Are phycoerythrin a protein like hemoglobin? Yes, it is a pigment. Phycoerythrin is a pigment. What is it chemically? Erythrin. Yes. Correct, correct. Gair ek khamo, your doubt is correct. Your question is correct. Okay? Yes? Okay. So, red thalli is most of the red algae are multicellular. Some of them have complex body organization. Food is stored as Floridian starch. Okay? Amylopectin and glycogen in structure. It resembles amylopectin and glycogen in structure. Yes, please remember this term. Food is stored as Floridian starch. Chlorophyceae, protein, or oil. Yes, Phaeophyceae, carbohydrate. Yes, and here Floridian starch. The red algae usually reproduce vegetatively by fragmentation. They reproduce asexually by non-motile spores and sexually by non-motile gametes. Sexual reproduction is oogamous. In both the other algae, if you see Chlorophyceae and Phaeophyceae, it was either isogamy, oogamy. Okay, so but here it is not like that. Here it is only oogamy. Okay, now common members are Polysiphonia, Porphyra, Gracilaria and Gelidium. Okay, Polysiphonia, Porphyra, Gracilaria, Gelenium. All these are red algae, marine algae. Yes, okay. The red color is because of our phycoerythrin in their body. Please remember these terms. They reproduce through oogamy sexually, asexually through fragmentation. Spores are non-motile, gametes are non-motile. They cannot move. Okay. Yes, and majority of them are found underwater. Okay, they can live in well lighted areas of the water bodies and also in the depth, high deep regions of the sea. Yes, okay, food is stored as Floridian starch. Please remember this. So, major pigments produced by this table is very, very, very important. Bacho, 110%. We can expect like one question from this particular part. So, please make a note. Yes, one question can come from this particular part. There is some problem with the screen. I think little bit it's not seen. Yes. Okay. So please make a note of this. All of you mark this. Okay. Already we have discussed. Each one contains which all pigments and major pigments. Food is stored as what. Okay. So you can already we have discussed this. So I'm not going again into the details. But which habitat it is seen. If you by heart this now, do one thing. Make a Xerox copy of this now. Again, I told you to get a board or a wall where you can stick all your important notes. Now please stick it on there. Whenever you pass by, you can just have a look at this and please one question to pakka. Okay, so 4 marks assured. One question is pakka. Now bryophytes. What are bryophytes? Another class. So you know that under plant kingdom, plants are classified into cryptogams and phanerogams. Yes, and cryptogams are what that doesn't produce fruits and seeds. Yes, and then you have phanerogams which are seed bearing, and then under that we have angiosperms and gymnosperms. So angiosperms contain what? They have fruit bearing. The seeds will be produced inside the ovary. Yes, fruit that will be produced, and inside that there will be the seed. Okay, and then in gymnosperms there will be naked seeds, right? Yes. Okay, so again angiosperms are divided into monocots, dicots. Again they are classified based on the way the petals are arranged: polypetalous, gamopetalous. Yes, and based on unisexual, bisexual, what kind of characteristics are present. So you have an overall idea of plant kingdom, I suppose, how we have classified. Under that comes we have our bryophytes, which include most of the various mosses and liverworts that are found commonly growing in moist shaded areas. Please know that always people mistake this. People always mistake with bryophytes and pteridophytes. What comes under bryophytes? Mosses, liverworts that are found commonly growing in moist shaded areas in the hills. जहाँ पे soil is like very moist. Okay, water content is more, doesn't mean that they live inside water. Always people make this common mistake. That's why I'm telling you, they don't live inside water hamesha. They can live in shaded regions where sunlight is less. Okay, now bryophytes are also called as amphibians of the plant kingdom because these plants can live in soil but are dependent on water for sexual reproduction. Why sexual reproduction? They are dependent for pollination, है ना? Yes. Okay, so for the gamete fusion to happen, the gamete has to move through water. Yes, so water is the medium. The gamete have to travel through water and then only the fusion will happen, right? Yes, for pollination to happen, they need what? They need water. That's why they are called as amphibians of the plant kingdom, because they live on the land but they need water during reproduction. They usually occur in damp, humid and shaded localities. They play most important role in plant succession of on bare rocks and soil. So succession क्या होते हैं? Ecological succession क्या होते हैं बच्चों? Ecological succession. Is this a new term for you? इकोलॉजिकल सक्सेशन क्या होते हैं? व्हेन प्लांट स्टार्ट ग्रोइंग ऑन ए बैरन लैंड, सडनली देखो एक फॉरेस्ट था, उसका डिफॉरेस्टेशन हो गया, दैट बिकेम अ बैरन लैंड, और फॉरेस्ट फायर हैपेंड एंड इट बिकेम अ बैरन लैंड. वहां पे हाउ प्लांट स्टार्ट ग्रोइंग, how plants start forming a new vegetation from there. After deforestation, that land doesn't remain barren like that forever. Yes, okay, so organisms start growing. Time क्या हो गया बच्चों? Yeah, we have time. Okay, so organisms start growing there, right? Plants will start growing there. So the time taken for establishing a new vegetation, a new plant community in a unit area is called as ecological succession. What is ecological succession? It is a time taken to form a new plant community or a new vegetation in a given area. In a unit area is called as ecological succession. So bryophytes are extremely helpful in succession. This is a very important term. Okay, plant succession or ecological succession, दोनों भी same है. Ecological succession or plant succession. Bryophytes will start that on rocks and soil जहाँ पे barren है, there was no growth at all. Bryophytes will start growing there. Okay, they are initiators. They can start, they play an important role in plant succession. Okay, this point is very important. Please make a note of this. Yes bacho? Yes, yeah, okay, yeah. So that is why these are seen in damp, humid and shaded localities, because they need both water as well as land for their survival, and they are amphibians of the plant kingdom. Now plant body of bryophytes is more differentiated than that of algae. It is thallus-like and prostrate or erect and attached to the substratum by unicellular or multicellular rhizoids. Okay, so they have something called as rhizoids that the bryophyte produce. They are not completely developed, they are not completely plant like, yet they have differentiation in their body. They don't have roots, they lack root, stem or leaves. They possess root like, leaf like, stem like structures. So see why bryophytes are considered like, they are false plants. Okay, bryophytes are false plants. They don't have real root, real leaf or real stem, but they look alike. Like real plants, they look alike, but they are green in color, right? So they look alike. Now main plant body of the bryophyte is haploid. Haploid क्या है? N or 2N? N or 2N? N. Yes, it produces gamete, hence it's called as a gametophyte. Yes, gametophyte it produces. Now the sex organs are multicellular. Male sex organ is Anthridium. Anthridium archegonium. Yes, very good. Avni, Tanishk, Himani, Sweetie, Akhila, Manisha, काशिश, मेरे लिए ना आप लोग सब फ्यूचर डॉक्टर्स हो गया है, because you're all with so much dedication, you're listening to me, and that's what is important for me. You people come here, a lot of people waste time with me, they flirt with me, they don't respect. It's okay, it's okay, okay, but I have that 5 or 6 children who are like seriously listening to me. Bacho, I will give my life to you because I'm really concerned about you, and I really want to teach you. Okay, bacho. Yes. So I'm so happy with you all. Like you're so much of so good, yeah. Like so genuine. Some children are so genuine, and you're giving me all your love when you're listening to me. Okay, so that really matters a lot to me. Okay, so I am here for those children, all my future doctors. Yes, yes, Avani, you're going to be future doctor, bacha. My blessings are with you. Yes. Thank you. Okay, please make a note of this. What is anthridium? Always remember, anther. Anther in a plant is male sex organ, na? Anther filament. Yes. Okay. Stamen, which forms the stamen. Yes. Okay. So anthridium, male sex organ. Please remember this. Okay. And they produce biflagellate anthozoroids. That is nothing but the gamete. Anthrozoid. Their gametes no are called as anthrozoids. Anthrozoids, male gamete, anthrozoid. Okay, because anther is related to what? Male. Remember it like that. Okay, and female sex organ is called archegonium, like gynoecium in plants. We have ovary, ovule. Yes, okay, style and stigma. Yes, in flowers you would have learned it now. There is an ovary. Inside the ovary there is ovule. यहाँ पे space नहीं है, so I'm not able to draw kids. But I hope you are understanding. There is ovary. Inside the ovary there is ovule, and then there is a style. There is stigma on top of that. On top of the stigma, what will come and sit? The anther will come and sit. And then pollen tube will take them inside because anther cannot move by itself. Yes, na? Yes, that is how fusion of gametes happen in flowers. Yes, yes, that's how it happens. Okay, very simple process. But I'm telling you this. If you actually learn with interest now, this reproduction in plants and everything, it's so interesting, so amazing. They are so incapable. They cannot run around like us. They cannot move from one place to the other. But still, how they are doing it? How they are carrying out reproduction? How they are carrying out fusion of gametes? It's really amazing to learn. Okay, but you have to develop interest. You have to fall in love with botany. You will love everything, and everything will just flow in your head like that. See, just like ma'am, I also used to hate botany once. I'm like, what is this about plants? मेरे को नहीं पढ़ना है. What inside the plant, some ovary is there, some ovule is there. What will I do with all that? But once you get into research life, once you are so determined, okay, that I have to become a doctor. I have to become a doctor no matter what. I was so determined, so I decided to fall in love with this subject, and now everything just flows in my head. But I don't have to read even once. What I learned in my 12th for my NEET preparation, that's what I'm teaching you right now. Okay, Anthridium, Archegonium, everything is just flowing because I fell in love with the subject, Bacho. You can also do it. Nothing is impossible. Okay, cool? Yeah. Okay, Vivek, thank you. Thank you, Vivek. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah. So the male sex organ is called anthridium and they produce biflagellate anthozoroids. Female sex organ is called as archegonium. Please make a note, bacho. It's important. It is flask shaped and they flask shaped archegonium. Female ना female sex organ है जो फ्लास्क shaped है and anthrozoids are male sex organ produced by the anthridium and archegonium related to gynoecium. Archegonium, gynoecium related to female. It is flask shaped and it will bear only a single egg. Now, antherozoids are released into water where they come in contact with archegonium. So that is why bryophytes need water. Why bryophytes are called amphibians of the plant kingdom? Why they need water to water for their pollination or for their reproduction is because why? Because there is only one female egg that is produced in the archegonium and it does not move. It will be in the female part of the plant, right? So what will happen? The anthozoroids will move around. Anthridium will release the anthozoroids. It will move, it will float in the water and it will go and fuse with the archegonium. Hence, we get a new zygote. So when this fusion happens, we get a zygote. Zygotes do not undergo reduction division immediately. They produce a multicellular body called as a sporophyte. Okay, this is one peculiar feature of Bryophyta. After fusion of gametes, zygote is formed and that doesn't develop into an embryo immediately. It forms a sporophyte which is multicellular. Okay, now it is nothing but it will not undergo multiplication division, it undergoes reduction division, which is meiosis, to produce haploid spores. These spores germinate to produce a gametophyte and that's how the reproductive cycle continues. That is, what happens is that the sporophyte will undergo sporophyte is 2n, and it undergoes a reduction division, that is mitosis. 2n becomes n. 2n will become n through a reduction division, that is meiosis. Yes, okay. Samita, that's what I said. Once this antherozoid is released from the anthridium, it goes into the water. That's why they are called amphibians of the plant kingdom. Water is more water content. Okay, wherever there is more water content in the soil, they will be growing there. So directly it gets released into the water, and the water current takes it to the female part. Okay, yes. Now they are of very little economic importance, but mosses provide food for herbaceous animals, birds, and other animals. Species of sphagnum moss provide peat that have long been used as fuel. Okay, please make a note. Sphagnum is a bryophyte which is used, which gives us peat. Okay, that is used as a fuel, and it has the capacity to hold water as packing material for transshipment of living material. Okay, now mosses along with lichens are the first organism to colonize rocks, and hence are of great economic importance. As I told you, ecological succession may they are very, very important. Okay, so all these are not important. The bryophytes are divided into liverworts and mosses. So you know two classes, liverworts and mosses. So I hope this part is clear. Please have a clear understanding about what is anthridium, what is archegonium, and what is released from each. Yes. Now liverworts ka common characteristic is given here. Example, this is liverwort is nothing but it's a bryophyte. Yes, and they are seen in habitats as bank of streams, marshy ground, damp soil, bank of trees, deep in the woods. Plant body of liverwort is thalloid. It is thalloid. It has division. Example is Markantia. Markantia is a liverwort. The thallus is dorsiventral and closely appressed to the substrate. Not important. Leafy members, tiny leaf-like appendages. Asexual reproduction in liverworts takes place by fragmentation. Please make a note. Yes, asexual reproduction by fragmentation or by the formation of specialized structures called gemme or gemma. Okay, gemme is plural, gemma cup is singular. Gemme are green multicellular asexual buds which develop in small receptacles called as gemma cups located in the thalli. It's just like spore formation. Okay, liverworts have this peculiarity to produce a gemma cup. Inside the cup, just like how spores accumulate, gemme will accumulate. Okay, specialized reproductive structures. Okay, now the gemme become detached from the parent body and germinate to new individuals. So gemme, gemma cap, all these are the peculiar feature of liverworts. Please make a note, bacho. Yeah, next one is mosses. Yeah, the predominant stage of life cycle of a moss is the gametophyte, which consists of two stages. First is protonema stage. Yes, okay. Yeah, and which develops directly from the spore. It is a creeping green branched and frequently filamentous stage. The second stage is a leafy stage. So basically, mosses when they develop, first stage is called as protonema. Okay, underdeveloped stage. This is underdeveloped. Please keep this in your mind. Underdeveloped stage, and this one is a leafy stage. Okay, that is developed stage. Okay, so these two stages are important in the growth of a mosses, and which develops from the secondary protonema as a lateral bud. They consist of upright slender axis bearing. ये सब उतना ज़्यादा important नहीं. It's only about the structure. They are attached to soil through multicellular and branched rhizoids. Rhizoids, because they don't have roots, na? Rhizoids help them attach into the soil surface. Okay, vegetative reproduction in mosses is by fragmentation. Always reproduction part is very important in whichever organism it is. Okay, sexual reproduction through sex organs, Anthridia, Archegonia, everything. Examples: Funaria, Polytrichum, and Sphagnum. Okay, please learn the common examples: Funaria, Polytrichum, Sphagnum. Yes. Okay, the capsules contain spores. Spores are formed after meiosis. Okay, reduction, division. All these are simple thing. Mosses have an elaborate mechanism of spore dispersal. Spore is dispersed into the water. It goes and reproduces. I mean, it goes and forms the next generation. Okay, so nothing much, but Protonema, early stage, creepy, green, branch, frequently filamentous stage is important, leafy stage important, examples important. Okay, so please make a note of this. Okay, next one, Pteridophytes. Pteridophytes क्या होता है? Pteridophytes include host tails and ferns, little more developed plants. Pteridophytes are used for medicinal purposes and as soil binders. Application, economic importance, medical purpose and soil binders. They are also frequently grown as ornamentals. Economic importance, medical purpose, soil binders to hold the soil together. Pteridophytes. Yes, host tail. Yeah, host tail, correct. Yes, yeah. Ma'am, what is the apex of leafy shoot? What is your question, Namish? Can you frame the question properly? Yes? Okay. Yeah. Video is blurred. Why? Why the video is blurred? Okay, I'm only telling you the most important points to note here. Economic important to spiridophytes important. Evolutionary, they are the first terrestrial plants to possess vascular tissue, xylem and phloem. They contain the vascular tissues are present in them. Vascular tissues or vascular bundle is nothing but xylem and phloem. They are the very first people to have this. Okay, yeah, you shall study more about this in that is because when you learn morphology and everything, we are going to learn that. Yes, especially transportation, you will learn more about the function of xylem and phloem. They are also found in cool, damp, shady places. Common all bryophytes are like bryophytes, they are also found there, and also sandy soil conditions. Um, Gametophytic plant body was in bryophytes. In pteridophytes, the main plant body is a sporophyte, which is differentiated into true root. When I look at this, no, this book, it's taking me back to my 12th days, my NEET days. I still remember my book, which was like fully highlighted with all these terms. These organs possess well differentiated vascular tissues. So, one important characteristic of Pteridophyta, they have well differentiated vascular tissues, differentiated into different parts. Plant body is differentiated in Pteridophytes. The leaves in Pteridophyta are small and it is called as microphyls, and as in Selaginella is example, or large macrophyls. Small leaves are called as microphyls. Huge leaves are called as macrophyls. That's found in ferns. Ferns you would have seen, no? We grow them as decorative ornamental plants. Ferns. The sporophytes bear sporangia that are subtended by leaf-like appendages called as sporophylls. This is a peculiar feature of pteridophyte. Please make a note of this, bacho. Microphyls, small leaves, macrophyls, big leaves. Okay, sporophytes. This cannot even be considered in bryophytes. Most of you get confused between bryophyta and pteridophyta and their characteristic when you're answering the question. Why not reply, ma'am? Shivanand, I didn't see your question. Yeah. मीट एग्जाम में बायो का वेटेज क्या है? You still don't know. 45 plus 45, 90 questions are coming compared to physics and chemistry. 90 questions from biology. So you know the weightage, right? Yes. Yeah. Okay. So please concentrate. Only these important terms you learn. I'm not taking you through each and every word. I'm only telling you what's extremely important in these parts, and we are going to do only that, bacho. Yes. Okay. Yeah. So what are the sporophylls? They bear sporangia, sporangiophore. Yes. That are subtended by leaf-like appendages called as sporophylls. In some cases, sporophylls may form distinct compact structures called strobili or cones. Strobili or cones are found in, see, like this. You would have seen these kind of structures, no? Yes, these kind of structures in pteridophytes you can see cone like structures. Okay, they are called as strobili or cones. Example, Selaginella, equisetum. All these are examples. Selaginella, equisetum. The sporangia produce spores by meiosis. Okay, reduction division in spore mother cells. So basically the sporangia is there. Okay, which will contain all the spores and which is subtended by all the sporophylls. Yes, sporophylls, and when it is time, this gets released outside. Okay, now the spores germinate to give rise to inconspicuous map. Madam, sir, madam, what? Plan Kingdom, wait. What is that, Indra? Plan Kingdom ka wait. Okay. Yeah, I'm telling you, so many of you have asked me your doubts. Okay, so many. There are some kids who just come and just flirt in Instagram and all. They just send all unnecessary messages and they just flirt around and waste time. So I'm telling you guys, okay, I have nothing to lose. Okay, I can also keep texting. I can also keep texting you all night and make you feel very good, but you are going to fail eventually. Guys, I have achieved. I have become a doctor. I have achieved all my goals. So I can waste time with you. But that's not why you are here. Please understand your purpose of life. You have a life to live. You have a goal to achieve. So n number of people are out there to flirt with you and waste time. Okay, please be focused. You can have fun. There's nothing wrong in having fun. And also know to whom you're dealing with. I'm your teacher. Mata Pita Guru Devam. Yes. Okay. So your teacher has to be treated like God, and I am not here to come and entertain you and flirt with you throughout the night, and that's not my purpose. Yes. Okay. And if I do that, I will be ethically wrong. I'll be doing ethically wrong against my profession. Okay, cool. So all those guys who are sending me all that sweet messages and hearts and everything, okay, all that thing, flattening things and all, guys, I have found the love of my life and I married him. So I'm telling you, stay focused, become a doctor. You will find your love. Cool. Yes. Okay. So please know to whom you're dealing with. Cool. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Yes. Okay, guys. Please, please, please. Yes, exactly, Shiva. Useless people. Yeah. Not only here, they follow me everywhere. And then what kind of messages they send now? So stay focused, Bacho. Stay focused. There's nothing wrong in having fun, I'm telling you. But know with whom you're dealing with. Yes, okay, I have achieved my goal, so I can waste time. But that's not the case in case of you. You have a life to live. You have a lot of things to do. You have to be really on your toes preparing for this exam. Yes, so pteridophytes ka important features we have learned: sporophylls. Okay, that is covering the leaf-like appendage that covers the sporangia, protecting the spores. Okay, all this is important. Now, sporophylls also form some strawberry-like structures or cones. That is also a peculiar feature of pteridophytes. Yes, bacho. So please remember, please make a note of this because and examples are very important. Okay. Yes, I hope all my future doctors are with me. Yes, I know that ignorance is not the thing, bacha. Some things we have to ignore, but then I felt like I have to come and tell you this because please be focused. Okay, everything in fall in place. You don't have to be so desperate. Okay, you will have people to talk to you once you have achieved your goal. Okay, all the girls and all the boys will follow you. You will have people behind you, but stay focused, man. Stay focused. What is so bad in being a such a successful, beautiful young doctor or handsome young doctor? Who will say no to that doctor? You tell me. Yes. Cool. Yeah. Yes. Shobha, you are the only strict teacher, ma'am. Thank you, Harshit. Thank you so much. Okay, I'm telling you because my genuine say, guys, what Shruti ma'am is, that's what you see here. I'm not faking or I'm not wearing a mask or anything. People who have interacted with me in real life or otherwise would know what I actually am. I am this, okay, and that's what I'm showing before you. Okay, so please, please stay focused. You can be successful. You don't want to be successful. You want to waste time. Okay, fine. There are n number of dating sites online. Go there and chat to people now. Yes, teachers are not here to do that with you. Okay, cool. Yeah. So mostly photosynthetic thalloid gametophytes are called prothallus. I'm not telling all this because guys, we don't have to concentrate on this. Not much of an importance. Gametophytes, they produce female sex organs called Anthridia, male and female sex organs in pteridophytes. Again, you know what is Anthridia? Anther, male; Archegonia, gynoecium, female. Yes, what is required for the transfer of anthozoroids? That is nothing but the male gametes. Male gametes are called as anthozoroids. This we already discussed previously. It is similar here. So I am not going into the details. Okay. Now, water is required because why water is required? Because male gametes cannot move by themselves. Water has to take them to the mouth of the archegonium for the fusion of gametes, right? So the fusion of male gamete and egg present in the archegonium result in the formation of zygote. See, actually, if you understand and read, no, all this is very simple. What is written about bryophyte? Same thing. It is repeated here, right? What is there? One archegonia is there, one anthridia is there. Archegonia will produce one egg, and anthridia will produce all the male gametophyte, anthroid. And anthroid has to reach to the archegonia. How will it reach? Through water. Fusion happens, zygote is formed. It's pretty simple, right? Yes, I don't know why you guys break your head so much for this part. It's so simple. Yes? Yeah. Okay, how mosses and liverworts refer creative home. What were you doing all this while? I was explaining that only, not till now. Yes, zygote thereafter produces a multicellular, well-differentiated sporophyte, which is the dominant phase of pteridophytes. In majority of the pteridophytes, all the spores are of similar kinds. In majority of the pteridophytes, all the spores are of similar kinds. Please make a note of this part. Such plants are called homosporous. Okay, all spores are of similar type, size, and in size they will be similar size they will be, in appearance they will be similar. So such members are called as homosporous. Genera like Selaginella and Salvinia, which produce two kinds of spores, macro large and micro small spores, are known as heterosporous. So there will be huge and there will be small spores produced by the same plant. Okay, that is called as heterosporous condition. Different types of spores, different types of spores, big and small. So it is called as heterosporous. Example, Selaginella salvinia. Some other members, they produce similar kind of spores, that is called as homosporous. The megaspores and microspores germinate and give rise to female and male gametophytes respectively. The female gametophytes in these plants are retained on the parent sporophytes for variable periods. Why? Because egg has to stay there. Female gametophyte will stay there because later on, anytime the plant can undergo reproduction, right? So that it will stay on the parent plant for a long time. Yes, this event is precursor to the seed habit, considered an important step in evolution. See, if this, why this is so important, why this part is so important, that is, as soon as the female gametophyte is produced, it doesn't get undergo fusion. It doesn't fuse with the male gametophyte, and it doesn't undergo fusion, form a zygote and then an embryo. It takes some time, it takes a break. Okay, the entire development takes inside the female gametophyte, but it takes some time. As soon as it is formed, it doesn't get released. Okay, why? मैम आप स्माइल करके अच्छे लगते हो, थैंक यू नेहा. Okay, so what I'm telling you is, this is much evolutionary for the pteridophytes, because they are starting to behave like mature plants. Because seeds में क्या होता है, as soon as the seed is released, there is something called as seed dormancy, right? Seed does not germinate immediately. The seed undergoes, take a little time to get adjusted to the new environment. Slowly germination happens, right? It takes some time, it takes a break. Same thing happens in case of pteridophytes also, but they do not have well-defined seeds as such. What they have is a female gametophyte inside which all this development happens. So the female gametophyte in pteridophytes are retained on the parent sporophytes for variable periods. They also take a dormancy time, and this kind of a behavior is called as seed habit, and it is considered as evolutionary because they are resembling that of mature plants. Okay, cool. Now, pteridophytes are classified into different classes. Psilopsida, that is Psilotum is example, Lycopsida, Selaginella, Lycopodium, Sphenopsida, Equisetum, and Pteropsida, Bryophytes, Pteris, and Ediantum are examples. Please learn examples of each class. There is no way to remember them other than just linking them with the name of their class. Lycopsida, Lycopodium. Like that, you can connect and learn an example. Phenopsida, Equisetum. And Pteropsida, Pteris ediantum. So like that, Dryoteris. You can connect with the class name and write down one example. Please learn the examples are important. I have told you all the important points about Peridotophytes. Okay, now we are looking at gymnosperms. Bacho, are you all tired? Tired, sleepy? Sambhav is telling me July 26th is my daddy's birthday and I hope to make him happy on his birthday. Of course, Sambhav, bacha, my blessing is with you. You are so sweet. How such young children can be so matured? See, I want Sambhav like children. So good you are. Sambhav, see how well you are thinking, bacha. At this age, you have so much of wisdom. I want all of you to be like this. Please develop this kind of wisdom from where you all are getting it. So nice, bacha. So nice, so sweet. So much of wisdom you have developed. You want to make your dad proud on his birthday by doing this exam well. Really proud of you. Really proud of you. Yes. Okay, now what are gymnosperms? You know this. Yes. Again, I'm telling you, going repeating the same thing. Plant kingdom or kingdom plantae is divided into cryptograms and phanerograms. Under phanerograms, we have what all we have? Angiosperms and gymnosperms. Angiosperms are again divided into monocots, dicots. Gymnosperms are the ones who does not bear the who does not bear fruit or who has what naked seeds, right? Gymnos meaning naked and sperma meaning seeds, right? Gymnosperms, naked seeds, who does not have a, the seed is not covered or protected inside of different layers of pericarp or mesocarp or endocarp, right? Yes. Now ovules are not enclosed by any ovary wall and they remain exposed, right? Both before and after fertilization, the ovules remain exposed. The seeds that develop post fertilization are not covered, that is naked. Gymnosperms include medium-sized trees or tall trees and shrubs. One of the gymnosperms, the giant redwood tree, sequoia, is one of the tallest tree species. Sequoia is a gymnosperm. Please make a note of this. Sequoia is a gymnosperm, one of the tallest tree species in the world. The roots are generally tap roots. Tap root कैसा होता है? One big root goes ना. Taproot system, one big root goes and from there you have primary, secondary and tertiary roots developing. Okay, roots in some genera have fungal association in the form of mycorrhiza. Yes, you would have heard about mycorrhiza, ectomycorrhiza outside the plant, endomycorrhiza inside the plant, vesicular arbuscular mycorrhiza or VAM. Have you heard of this? Vesicular arbuscular mycorrhiza or VAM? Yes. Okay, this is nothing but the association of a gymnosperm with the fungi, because certain gymnosperms directly cannot take up nutrients from the soil because their root system is limited. Because the gymnosperm's root system is limited, they cannot take nutrients directly from the soil. So some fungi will help them. Fungal association. The fungi will go and live onto the roots. Who will go and live? Fungi will go and live onto the roots. It can be either outside, then it is called as ecto. If it is inside the plant, inside the roots it's living, it's called as endo. And the fungi takes, it's a symbiotic mutualistic relationship. The fungi takes shelter and everything from the root. It gets a nice house to live. At the same time, how the plant is being benefited, fungi is helping it to take up nutrients from the soil, and this association is called as mycorrhiza. I hope it's clear, bacho. Yes, mycorrhiza. Cool. Pinus is an example, while in some others like cycas, small specialized roots called colloid roots. So they are of so much importance. Gymnosperms are involved in nitrogen fixation. When I did nitrogen fixation, I told you about this. Colloid roots that is formed in cycas. Okay, or this is associated with nitrogen fixing cyanobacteria. Nitrogen fixing cyanobacteria, they will go and live onto the roots of cycas. Okay, and this and form a particular bulge structure. They form bulge root like this, bulge in the root like this. Yes, okay, bulge roots. This is called as colloid roots. Sorry, coralloid roots. Okay, and this is again another symbiotic association between nitrogen fixing cyanobacteria, blue green algae. Nitrogen fixing cyanobacteria or blue green algae, they go and live in the roots of cycas. Okay, please remember this. Okay, mycorrhiza is not algae. Mycorrhiza is the association between fungus and pinus roots. Okay, fungus and the plant, fungus and the gymnosperm. Okay, it is of two types, ecto and endo. Ectomycorrhiza, endomycorrhiza. Okay, in some others, in cycas, small specialized roots called coralloid roots are associated with nitrogen fixing cyanobacteria. The stems are unbranched or branched. Like in pinus tree, if you have seen pinus male corn and all, have you seen how the seed is exposed, naked seed? Okay, if you have been to Ooty Kodaikanal area, if somebody has come to the south and if you have traveled to Ooty and Kodaikanal in Tamil Nadu, you would have been seeing like valleys of a lot of pinus male corns and all fallen, because lot of pinus you can see there. Yes, okay. Cedrus and pinus are branched gymnosperms and Cycas has unbranched stem. Please remember this example. Okay. The leaves may be simple or compound. In Cycas, the pinnate leaves persist for a few years. Okay. So, like they are long living plants. Okay. Now, leaves in gymnosperms are well adapted to withstand extremes of temperature, humidity, and wind. In conifers, the needle-like leaves reduce the surface area. Their thick cuticle and sunken stomata also help to reduce water loss. If you have looked at pinus and all these cycas and cedrus and all these gymnosperms, they are also grown as ornamental plants these days. Gymnosperms are grown as ornamental plants. Why? Because of their longevity. Okay, they require less water and the leaves dry up and that remain like that for a long time, and they form blade like or needle like leaves, needle like appearance, very sharp needle like leaves they form. You must be having some of these plants in your homes, है ना बच्चों? Yes. Exam date क्या है? प्रतीक आप सो रहा था? Were you sleeping? Yes, Sharad. I am a doctor. I have done my doctorate in microbiology. Yes, I am Dr. Shruthi Kohli. Yes. Okay, so I'm still doing my research. I have published international research papers in 5 international journals, and I have presented my research work in more than 13 international conferences, and 6 places I was awarded with best oral paper presentation, best poster presentation. I have received awards from the Karnataka Science and Technology Academy for best research award and best research paper award. So there are a couple of things, but this is not the session where I should be talking about my achievements, Hena. Yes, I want all of you to be achievers. Yes. Okay. Sharad has so many questions. If you want to know about Virat Kohli and mine association, you can message me in Telegram. Okay. Yes. Okay. So see again, let's look at the reproduction and everything of gymnosperms. We are almost done with the session, bacho. We are almost winding up. Yes, it's almost time. So we are almost winding up the session, bacho. So the gymnosperms are heterosporous. Heterosporous means till now I was telling you doubt. Narasimha is writing doubt, 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 doubt. What doubt? What doubt? Yes. Okay, so please listen. Gymnosperms are heterosporous, bacho. Yes, they produce haploid microspores and megaspores. Haploid microspores and megaspores, spores that are of different sizes, right? Small ones are called microspores, big spores are called megaspores, and that is why gymnosperms are called as heterosporous, because they produce spores of different shapes. Okay, yes, haploid means N. Yes. Okay. Now, two kinds of spores are produced within sporangia that are borne on sporophylls, which are arranged spirally along an axis to form lax or compact strobili or cones. Okay. So, this kind of appearance on an axis, you would have seen these plants, no? They have needle-like leaves and they appear like this. Pinus male corn, if you have looked at, there will be an axis, and on the axis multiple of them, multiple you can see spirally arranged people, strobili or cones, compact cones will be there, onto which the spores will be produced. Okay, the strobili bearing microsporophylls and microsporangia are called microsporangiate or male strobili. The microspores develop into a male gametophytic generation. Okay, All these are important. This reduced gametophyte is called pollen grain. Basically what happens, small spores, microspores give rise to microsporangia, or which will develop into the male gametophyte, from which the pollen grain will be released. That's all, simple. Now, big one, wearing megasporophylls will have ovules or megasporangia, because megasporangia, female egg, female ovules are bigger in size. So, megasporangia will bear the female spores, female gametophyte, or it will be called as a female strobili. So, you know the difference between the male strobili and female strobili? In cone, yes, or in pinus or in gymnosperm, they are heterosporous because they produce microspores and megaspores. Microspores, microsporangia, microsporophylls, male gametophyte. Megaspore, megasporangia, megasporophyll, female strobili, female gametophyte. Okay. Now the female may be born on same tree or on different trees, so they can be unisexual or bisexual. That's all. The nucleus is protected by envelopes and composite structures called as ovule. Okay, simple things. One of the megaspores enclosed within megasporangium nucellus. Megasporangium is also called as nucellus. Okay, develops into a multicellular female gametophyte that bears two or more archegonia or female sex organs. Okay, megasporangium, as I told you, female strobili. So of course the egg will be there, and from the egg you have all the female sexual organs developing. That is the archegonias. You connect it like that. Okay, I know it must be a little confusing for you, bacho. Yes, I am pretty sure it must be confusing for you. So don't worry, don't worry. Okay, always remember like this. Let's revise this once again together, because this part is extremely important. Okay, so we have male and female parts. Male parts develop from the microspores, okay, which will be on the strobili, on the cones, forming microsporophylls, and that will have the microsporangia, which is called as the male strobili, which will give rise to the pollen grain, and that will later on take part in reproduction. This can be found on the same tree, or like there can be male or female plants together. Okay, and then we have the megasporangia, which is standing on the megasporophyll, forming the female strobili, and inside that we will have all the ovules, and megasporangium will have the archegonia that bears all the female reproductive part. Okay. Yeah. Now, unlike bryophytes and pteridophytes in gymnosperms, the male and female gametophytes do not have independent free living existence. Okay. They remain within the sporangia, retained on the sporophyte. So, either inside the microsporangium, the male people, and megasporangium, the female archegonia and female egg, everything is closed inside. Inside, they are placed. They do not have free living. Spores cannot be freely floating. No free living, free existing, independent existence. That's the point. Okay, please make a note of this. Now, pollen, they are carried, pollen grain is released from the microsporangium. Yes, because it carries the male gametophyte, right? Yes, they are carried in the air currents, and they come in contact with the opening of the ovules born on megasporophylls. So, air, the pollination happens through air. Okay, air is the medium that carries the microspores, male gametophytes, and puts it into the female ovules, and their fertilization happens. Very simple now. Just don't look at these all these sentences and all. You just concentrate like this. Okay, microsporangia contains what? Male gametophyte. Okay, that will be taken by the wind. Wind will take it to the female archegonia. I mean female gametophyte, that is present where? In the archegonia, which is present in the megasporophyte. Okay, and in the megasporophyte, see, because it cannot move by itself now, it doesn't have legs to walk and go down to the archegonia by itself. The male gametophyte, the pollen grain, cannot walk down and go by itself. So who will take it down? The pollen tube will carry the male gametophyte, grows towards the archegonia in the ovules and discharge their contents near the mouth of the archegonia. Okay, so basically there will be a pollen tube that will carry it and release it into carry the pollen grain and release it into the archegonia so that fertilization can happen, because male gametophyte or male spores does not have legs to walk by themselves. Got it? Yes. So zygote, this following fertilization, zygote develops into an embryo and the ovules into seeds, directly seeds. The seeds are not covered. Okay, just a seed will be formed. There will be no covering, no protecting, no endosperm. I mean, no ectocarp, no mesocarp, no pericarp. Nothing will be there. Okay, there will be just a seed that is formed. Okay, cool, bacho. And then we have the angiosperms. I think we are almost done with time. Okay, this is pretty simple. Angiosperms are much developed plants. You would have already revised this. Okay, now they have specialized structures called as flowers. Yes, bacho. Ma'am, oh, I will let me look at my kids. Are you all sleeping? Sleeping or listening? Sleeping or listening? Namish, ma'am, are you like candies? What? Thank you, Simran. Thank you so much. Sasriyakal. Sleeping, no sleeping, listening. Khushi, yes, I took your name. Thank you, Simran. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Ma'am has to focus. Thank you, Dr. Kunal. Okay, bacho, listen. Okay, thank you, Sharad. Thank you, Firdos. Okay, listen. Yeah, one day, no, I'll bring my CV and I will show you all my awards and everything I've done so you will understand about me more. I have already told this in the introductory session. Thank you, kids. Okay. I am a microbiologist, Pradeep. So my focus is on microorganisms. I research on mushrooms. My research work was on oyster mushrooms because they have some therapeutic property. But of course, I would love to do some antiviral studies. I want to work on corona. So maybe my next project will be on SARS viruses. So, but viruses are very difficult to research on because sample availability is very difficult, and we have a lot of legal protocols while working on them. But then, as a part of my research, my PhD work, I had fed my sample to mice. That is black mice that we use for research, and I had like 50 mice and I fed my sample to all of them, and finally I had to kill them all. I had to do their necropsy, I had to weigh their organs, I had to take their blood samples, and I really feel bad when I think of that, but then it did give me a very good result. My animal study was the best part of my research, I must say. Yes. Okay, bacho. Yes. So let's look at angiosperms. You know, very simple thing. Okay. Angiosperms, ovules are not naked. They are flowering plants. So of course they'll produce fruits and seeds, and they produce flowers, and there are different ranges, and there are monocots and dicots. Monocots contain one cotyledon, dicots contain two cotyledon. Yes, okay, I am not going into the details. You know, there are female and male sex organs in angiosperms. Female part is called as gynoecium. Yes, female reproductive structures are called as altogether gynoecium. Yes, and male reproductive structures are called as the androecium. This pen has a problem, it's not writing properly. Okay, so androecium and gynoecium. So in the gynoecium you have the ovule inside, with covered by the ovary wall and the ovary, and which is connected to the style, and then the stigma. And in the male part gynoecium you have the anther, yes, which is connected by the filament, and they form the stamen. Yes, okay. And within the ovules there are highly reduced female gametophytes termed as embryo sacs. This is a characteristic feature of angiosperms. Please make a note of this. Okay, and the embryo sac formation is preceded by meiosis. Hence, each of the cells of an embryo sac is haploid N. Okay. Now, each embryo sac has three-celled egg apparatus, one egg cell, and two synergids, and three antipodal cells, and two polar nuclei. This is how the inside the embryo sac, how these haploid cells are arranged. Each embryo sac has three-celled egg apparatus. What is there inside the three-celled egg? One egg cell, two synergids, three antipodal cells, and two polar nuclei. So if you had heard of the double fertilization, you will know how that happens here. Yes. Okay, now please, the polar nuclei eventually fuse to produce a diploid secondary nucleus 2n. Yes, okay. Now pollen grain after dispersal from the anthers are carried by wind or various agents to stigma or to the pistil of a pistil. Now this is termed as pollination. I am not going into the details here because this is pretty simple. What we were discussing till now, एक flower से दूसरा flower तक pollination होना है, so it can be through wind, water, or air, insects, yes, birds, right? Okay, so because flowers will produce certain attractants and certain rewards, so the birds will get attracted, they will take the pollen grain, they will put it on to the female plant, and there it will grow from the male flower or from the male part to the female part. It has to go through all these ways and pollination has to happen. Okay, and how does it go inside? Again, the pollen grain will go inside through pollen tubes. It can be taken inside to the inside of the embryo sac where the fusion can happen. Yes. Okay, one of the male gametes, so this part is important, one of the male gamete fuses with egg cell to form a zygote, and this is called as syngamy. What is syngamy? One male gamete fuses with one female egg, okay, to form a zygote. This is called as syngamy. Please make a note of this. Syngamy is what? Fusion of male gamete with female egg. Male sperm with female egg fusion is called as syngamy. The other male gamete fuses with diploid secondary nucleus, which is already present inside the embryo sac, to produce a triploid primary endosperm nucleus called as PEN, primary endosperm nucleus. PEN, primary endosperm nucleus. Please make a note of this. Okay, the other male gamete, that goes inside the embryo sac, it will fuse with the diploid secondary nucleus 2n. N will fuse with 2n. Okay, to produce a triploid that will become triploid 3n. 2n plus n, because n is our haploid gamete and 2n is our diploid secondary nucleus, which will give rise to 3n primary endosperm nucleus. This will give rise to the endosperm of the seed. That's why it is little more complex here. Because of the involvement of two fusions, fusion of male gamete and female egg, and fusion of male gamete and diploid secondary nucleus, right? Okay, this event is termed as double fertilization. Two fusions happening, hence it is termed as double fertilization. Got it, kids? It's pretty simple, right? Double fertilization is pretty simple. Thank you, Cobra. Yeah. Okay. Now, this is a unique event of angiosperms. Always understand double fertilization is a unique event of angiosperm because they are much developed and they have two male gametophytes going inside the ovule, and one will fuse with the female egg and the other will fuse with the diploid secondary nucleus to produce a triploid, and this is called as primary endosperm nucleus. Okay, because why so much of complex things in angiosperms? Because they have so many things to form now. Unlike bryophytes or peridotophytes, these people have, or gymnosperms, they have so many things to form. They have to form the endosperm, they have to form the embryo and all the other parts of the fruit. Yes. Okay, yeah, much complex process. The zygote develops into an embryo with one or two cotyledons, monocot or dicot, right? And the pen, that is primary endosperm, develops into the endosperm, which provides nourishment to the developing embryo. Simple. The synergids and antipodals degenerate after fertilization. After fertilization, all these unwanted nuclei and unwanted part of the ovule that is present, they will just go out, right? Okay. Now, during all these events, finally the ovules will develop into seeds and the ovaries will develop into the fruit inside the ovary. Yes. Okay, ovules will be placed 1, 2, 3. Yes. Okay, this will develop into the seed and the ovary inside will develop into the fruit. Okay. Yes. Yeah, so the life cycle of the angiosperm is shown in this figure, Bacho. I think it's almost time for me to end the class. It's almost time. Yes, okay. So please, 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 I'm ending the session here. Okay, so you can see gametophytic generation and sporophytic generation, life cycle of an angiosperm. I have explained you the fusion. If you have understood my explanation, looking at this diagram will be very, very, very easy for you. Okay, this is a very simple and beautiful diagram that's given. You can easily understand each and every part of the flower. The male part, the female parts are given. Yes, how the microspore is produced inside the microsporangium. Yes, and the microspores are released, and then the microspore goes as the pollen grain with the male gametophyte. Yes, and it is released into the female gametophytes. Two male gametes goes inside, how it fuses and forms the zygote. And then we have the 2n sporophytic generation, because sporophyte is 2n and gametophyte is n. Okay, so very simple diagram. If you have understood my explanation, I'm not going into the details. I hope you can easily understand this. Yes, okay, I hope you like this session. If you don't like also, it's fine. Those who have to learn from me have learned. Okay, bacho. So I will do one session on haplontic and diplontic. Haplontic, diplontic, it's very simple, bacha. Haplontic, at the end of the haplontic life cycle, if the organism forms a gamete that is N, that is called as an haplontic life cycle. If the progeny is N, it is called as from N, which is a gamete that is N. So parent is 2N. From the 2N, we got the gamete that was N, and the progeny also became N. This is a haplontic life cycle. Say parent is 2N, okay, and we got the gamete that is N, but because of some kind of double say like multiplication division, like mitotic division or something, we got the progeny also as 2n. This is called as diplontic life cycle. So haplontic, diplontic, giving rise to a haploid n, giving at the end progeny is haploid, so it is a haplontic life cycle. At the end progeny is a diploid, so it is called as a diplontic life cycle. Okay, that is the difference, haplontic, diplontic. Some organisms will follow like this, haplodiplontic. They will have both haploid and diploid will be formed. So from a haploid gamete, a diploid progeny will be formed. So that life cycle is called as haplodiplontic life cycle. That's the difference. Very simple, simple concept. So I'm not going here. I'm ending the session here. It's pretty simple. Haplodiplontic life cycle. Maybe if you have more doubts on what is a haploid life cycle, what is a diplontic life cycle, what is a haplodiploid, maybe you can ask me in Telegram. I can clear all your doubts. Please subscribe to our channel, Vedantu NEET Made Easy. And what I have to tell you, I love you all. Thank you for listening to me, and prepare well. Please prepare well. Yes, yes, I hope whatever I have told you marked here is has been useful to you, bacho. Yes, haplontic, diplontic, if you have more doubts you can ask me. I will clarify your doubts. Please subscribe to our channel. Stay tuned with us. Vedantu NEET Made Easy. Subscribe to our channel and join our Telegram group to chat with the teachers for discussions, assignments, and everything. Please join our Telegram group from this link. I had a nice time teaching you all, and don't worry about anything I said. Okay, I love you all, and I just want you all to be successful. I just want you all to achieve everything, and I want you all to be my future doctors. Yes. Jack, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, Sharad. Yeah. Don't worry, Komal. Just start from today. अभी भी time है ना? 26 तक time है. You have 2.5 months time left. I think you can easily prepare. Yes. Okay. Please study well, prepare well. I'm here to help you. All teachers are here to help you. We all want to see you successful. And I love you all. Have a nice evening. All the best.